Ladies and gents, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. Welcome on to me, familia, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Toronto, in the Canadas, hello, over there down south in the United States, further down south, Mexico, further down south than that, the South Americas, over there in Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, of course, the Koreas, all the stands, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Middle East, all over the place. Oh, if it's your first time, where can you find these videos? Check it out on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the full length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSandry if you'd like to physically, financially support the show. We have a little bit of fun around here on Wednesdays and Fridays. And who knows when the timetable might change. For the meantime, it'll be Wednesdays and Fridays. But who knows what's holding out for us out there in the future. I should just say this. Let's before we get into it, let me address a little situation that's going on. If you do happen to hear any external noises being recorded in the background, which I don't think will happen, but should you hear something, there's a little bit of construction going on next door, which is fine. Leave a comment if it enhances your listening and viewing experience. If so, I will bring them back. I will relocate them. I will move them away. I'll separate them from their families. If it takes people doing construction next to enhance your experience, I'll do it. I'll ruin their life. I will do it. As long as it's going out for a bigger purpose, for a bigger cause, which is you guys out there. I'll do anything for you. I'll fucking steal them away from their families. I'll make sure they don't see their kids. So they come here, bang, and make noises. If that's the case, let me know. If it's distracting you, if it's taking away, if it's lessening if it's not a 10 out of 10 experience, or if it happens to just drop like 9.5, if it lowers your viewership or your viewing experience, your listening experience, let me know as well. I will take care of it. I will take out their needs. I will go, let me know though. I'm it's 50-50. It could go either way. If it ruins it for you, let me know. I will grab a Zamboni and I will run over their legs. I will run over their legs with a Zamboni. Knees, kneecaps, finito, gone, out of here. I'm talking about, Mr. Zamboni, my beautiful neighbor who happens to make beautiful pasta. I will grab him and we will wreck some friggin' kneecaps. But that's aside the point. I don't think you'll hear anything. But again, if you do, let me know. If it enhances your experience, super. If it doesn't, right there, I will take care of it. I'm telling you right now. We will not stand for anybody getting in between us. Anyone. Ladies and gents, it's January the 29th, 2025. Holy smokes. First month is already done. Let's do it. God, that's hot. That is, that's good. That's good. A little bit all over the place. Let's see where it takes us. I'll say that it feels good to be a part of the community. Little things that just make up your existence a little bit more pleasant. I love when I show up to the coffee joint, or my little spot, and they know what I'm getting, so they prepare it sometimes in advance and just cash me out right there with a smile, and I say please and thank you. And it's so nice to have that. It is nice to have that sort of like, I'm looking at you, I'm coming in, you see what's up, you know what I get on a daily basis. And there's a transition between fall, winter, and then spring and summer. The drinks you go from cold beverages to hot beverages, but there's a staple that you got. I'm a coffee, either black or with one milk, because one milk, I'll walk in, one milk, yes, hand it right there, boom. Tap that hard, dude. I did it yesterday. It felt good. It's just like, yes, I know you and you know me, and it feels good. And then I'll tell you this, I did another thing. I'm not, usually I'm not one to I'm not even gonna label it. Some might say it was kind of like, it made me feel good. I'll just say this, some people do a little bit of like, nice work on the side or whatever, or see, whatever. You give back in whichever way you can. And sometimes you don't talk about it. Sometimes people talk about it. I'm not the type that goes around like, talking about it. But if we're going to talk about it, let's just talk about it. Because, that your boy did something which also made me feel really nice. It was, you do something for somebody else and it makes you feel nice, which is crazy. It's as if they did something for me. I'll say this. I was walking with my coffee, one milk. Black coffee, one milk, thank you. Smoking a cig. All of a sudden, I got my headphones on always when I'm on my walks, on my daily walks. I do listen to podcasts. I do listen to music. Get my steps in, and I'm in my stride. I'm just walking, stretching my legs, enjoying a cig, and I'm hearing my music, my podcast, of course. And all I hear, I see a little voice. I see a little lady, little little prune of a lady, maybe like, 175 years old with all the wrinkles that you can just fucking, just touch her face and gain wisdom, or, have her skin she's probably got a lot of dead skin. Don't touch her face. Don't, she'll, dermis will just probably fall off at that. It's fresh. It's nice. It's good. Nonetheless, she's like, excuse me, young man, excuse me. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And I got excited. I'm like, yes, what is it? Beautiful lady, how can I help? I seem to have ordered an Uber. Could you help me get in? Is this my... She's looking at her phone, looking at cars, trying to figure out. I'm just like, oh, bitch, let's get you in your Uber. Let us do that. I take a look at her phone and I'm like, let's check out for the license plates. Right there, there's a car right there. Oh, there's your car. Help me to my Uber, please. And I did. I grabbed her thin little, frail arm, and I snatched it. And I said, step away, everybody, step away. There's an old elderly lady with lots of wrinkles and wisdom coming through. I kicked the baby in the face. Get out of here, young baby. I said, then I opened the door to the cab and I slide her inside. She sits in the back with her walker and everything intact. You good, mommy? She's good. She's good. Door closed. Oh, right there. I said, everybody, it's okay. Everybody, it's all right. We can all go back to our regularly scheduled programming. Do whatever you were doing. I said that. I didn't say all that, but oh God, did it feel good when I snatched under just the thinnest arm. And I let her feel my power. I'm like, I got you. There's no way. Try to slip. Just try to slip, bitch. I will. Because it snowed a little bit too. It snowed. It's slippery outside. Here in Canada, so I'm like, try to slip. I got you. Oh, I just wanted her to slip so bad so I could just clench even a little bit harder. Not too hard, of course. I'm just like letting you know. I let her feel the power, baby. I'm just like, oh. Left-handed grab of the armpit. Try to slip, grandma. Try to slip. I've been practicing with fish, dude. Just fucking waiting for a moment like this. I will put fishes in a barrel and I'll have them just jump out and I'll try to grab one just to prepare for such days. And it felt good. It felt good afterwards. I'm like, oh, just waiting, just looking out. Anybody else need any help? Can I do anything else for you? Anybody else, you want to give birth? Let's do it right here on the sidewalk. Am I qualified? No. Am I willing? Yes. Hot water, anyone? Fuck it, it's cold, it's Canada. It'll just, cold water it is for the baby. Let it just swim in cold water. Hot water's for puss people. Cold water babies. True north, that's where it's at. It felt good though. I hope she got to her destination safe and sound. I do gotta tell you though, I did have my headphones on and I didn't turn it off. I kind of heard, excuse me, Uber. I assume she was trying to get into an Uber. For all I know, she was trying to escape this man. Maybe I fucking helped with a man stealing a 175-year-old lady. Help, as she's driven away. Help me. Yeah, you're welcome for the help. You're welcome, sweetheart. Anytime. That's outside the point. That's neither here or there. It just felt good. If you want to slip outside, catch me. I'll just fucking, I will grab your coat. I will grab under your armpit and I will not let go. We're in this together. Maybe I should have gone on with it. Maybe I should have accompanied her on her journey, because who knows how much more help she'll need getting out of the cab, getting inside the apartments and the buildings, and maybe she's got an appointment. But nonetheless, there'll be other guys and ladies out there doing the work. That's neither here or there, ladies and gents. Let's get right into it. How to keep your hoe in check. How to keep your hoe in check, ladies and gents. I'll say this. First of all, first you gotta acquire the hoes. You gotta get them hoes. All right, get a bunch. There's power in numbers. Get a whole bunch. 3 to 5 minimum. 3 to 5 hosts. How to keep them in check? It's all about respect. It's all about mutual respect and understanding that certain things need to be done. Certain things need to be carried out in a certain particular manner. And that at the end of the day, daddy's out here for protection. Daddy's out here to make things run smooth, is essentially. And sometimes people need a reminder. Because hoes be running around and all you just like, oh, we can do this on our own. No need for protection. They'll say no need for daddy to come in and sort things out. And the next thing as soon as you do, this is the thing. Females are wonderful, of course, but you've seen them sometimes, it's female, especially in certain businesses, they do get catty. They do get, the rivalry, the spirit of just competition comes out, and then the next thing you know is like, oh, I gotta stand out. I gotta be number one, and there might be, but you gotta make sure that no, there's none of that. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. Keeping your hoes in check. So checking up on them is every once in a while. Do not spend too much time with them, but also show up. That's how you keep your hoes in check. That's just like the basics. Just come in and check in every once in a while. What's up, hoes? Doing all right? Good. Just making sure. And it's not even about a fiscal or financial relationship of any sort. It's just about keeping your hoes in check. How to keep them in check. How to make sure nobody runs around, and let them know that hey, if you do plan on running around town doing your own certain activities, there's other hoes around as well. Let them know that there's other hoes around. You think you're the only one with the hot cooch? You think you're the only one out there that can go earn a buck? Let them know that. But I love you. I respect you. You're all queens in this kingdom. Let them know that. Let them know that. Should you decide to go independent, become a rival, now we're gonna have a certain situation that comes about. That's gonna dictate a whole nother way of dealing with circumstances. But I'm just letting just let them know that that we're all in this together. We're all in this together. How to keep your hoes in check. I will say, make sure you have independent, individual, one-on-one talks, to take them to the side. You're doing great. This is fantastic. What we got is special. All right. And then you take them out, and then you have group talks. What we're doing here is very special. This is a tight unit. None of this could happen without each and every one of you. Let them know that as a group. But then again, Stacy gets a different treatment. Letitia gets a different treatment. Becky has her own temperament you got to deal with. All these things. All I'm just saying is, individual talks, reassurance, and also coming and giving the group talks. Get the spirits. We're in a team. This is a unit. We walk as one. Let them know that. So these are the basics of how you keep your hoe in check. Of course, never, times have changed. Of course, you can't be so, the old, machismo way of doing things are, and that's, I'm not here to say if it's for better or for worse. Certain things that you can't be so heavy-handed no more. You know what I'm talking about? Back in the heavy-handedness went a long way. These days, not so much. You got to be a little bit. It's got to be light-handed tactics. So you got to just do not be afraid to just every once in a while to kind of prop up as if you're about to go heavy-handed. Never should you go to that extent unless need be, unless it's unless necessary. I'm not saying nothing, but all I'm saying is that you got to keep a nice balance in order to keep your hoes in check. So these are just a few basics. I just want to remind everybody this is not for practice your own methods, figure out what works for you, but always let them know that you're dependent on one another and that this could not work without everybody coming in and putting in the full effort. Having said that, how to keep them in check, you can take them to Czech Republic. There's the best way to keep your hoes in check. That's another way, Another way is to just, get a checkbook, write their names down. They're already in check. They're monetary means. You gotta make sure they're taken care of. Put them in check. That's how it is. Ladies and gents, every once in a while, it wouldn't harm the enterprise for you to fire somebody either. They might be performing well, but just to let the others know that there could be somebody else coming in, all right? That's another way of keeping your hoes in check. That's just, fire. So I know you got a good relation. They're all great. They're all great. At the end of the day, who are we kidding? They're all great. But you got to let one go to make an example. To make it, and that's why you can't get emotionally, physically, mentally. You can't have that attachment. This is purely business. But daddy loves you at the end of the day. You know what's up. So these are just a few basic ways of, keeping your hoes in check. Of course, you could always outsource, get other hoes to come in and try to step in on your territory, have your hoes work together and solve the problem by themselves. Another way of, but you, again, from afar, monitoring the whole situation, whatever's going on, you monitor, hands-off approach from afar, let them handle it. What do you do? What do you do when there's competition coming in from the corner? This is our turf. You let it be known. Stand your ground. That's how you do it. So these are just a few basics. Again, I'm not telling you how to do things, how to run your business, how to do, But if you want to know, these are a few basic things that I've implemented throughout the years, and it works, So proof is in the pudding, proof is in the jizz, proof is in the cream, proof is in the vaginal fluids. That's what they say. And it's been said that way for a long time now. Dun, 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 dun. This one's for the ladies out there. How to keep bitches away from your mans. How to keep bitches, because questions be asked. People ask questions that are not often answered. I like to just be of assistance, just, it doesn't matter whether I'm out there in the real world and this is part of the real world. If it's an old lady, I'll help her. I'll help that bit. If it's just regular bitches out there looking out to keep their mans for themselves, I'll tell you how you do it. Little one step at a time. Together so you keep other bitches away from your mans. You got a good man with you. It's a good reason. He's caring. He's thoughtful. Emotionally avails. Not too much though, because you still want to do it. Emotionally avails, but if you're gonna shed a couple of tears, do it in private where I don't see it. Away, just away from myself, maybe the kiddos too. If you've got them, keep that's how it works. That's how it works. But keep your mans to yourself. How to keep bitches away from your mans. A good amount of public display of affection never hurts. Never hurts. Just I'm talking little stuff. It doesn't have to be over the top, but little teeny tiny public displays of attention. You're walking down the street, hand in hand, simply open up your legs and climb on top of his head with your vagina and just kind of encapsulate him and then just hop out. Let people know. Just a little tiny gesture. It doesn't have to be anything major. Just slide right on top, whole body coverage, slide back up. Whose man is it? It's this ladies. You can point to yourself. It's this ladies, man. It's the bitches, stay away. Stay away, bitches. He's covered in your slime. They'll know, they smell it, they see it, they know what's up. Just a little teeny. It doesn't have to be anything crazy like a little peck on the cheek. Something minimalistic is what I'm thinking. Other means of keeping bitches away from your mans, of course, is you could, get a matching t-shirt. Get a matching t-shirt. The ones with the arrows pointing to one. And I'm with this bitch. She mine. That my man. That's my hoe right there. Arrows pointing to one another. And always wear the same attire. Letting people know without actually saying it, but saying it on your chest. This guy's taken. He's mine. It's another method. Get a good man. Get a solid man. He's hard, he stays hard, gives you that, gives you the attention, the love that you deserve. But low key, start a rumor online, got a tiny dick, start a rumor in his office wherever he's got a tiny dick. If there are any ladies at the office, if there's a group of friends you guys hang out with, send out emails, fax them out, just make sure it doesn't lead back to you. Remove the paper trail. You don't want the rumor coming back to you, but start a rumor. Tiny dick kind of smells weird. Start rumors about your mans. Little by little, people will be like, man, we didn't know he's got a small dick and he smells a little weird. So stuff like this, just, you got to get a little bit creative. You got to put in the time. So these are long-term measures. How to keep your mans to yourself and bitches away from your mans. I'll say this. It wouldn't, you guys could be living the most wonderful life, and you are a good couple. You're in a good relationship. Every once in a while, outside, it doesn't hurt to get in a spaz out, make him spaz out, mind tricks, do something, get upset, have him get further upset. You calm down, you look relaxed. He looks cray in front of bitches. Bitches don't want cray. There you go. Make him look kind of crazy. Low key, it's a little bit fucked up if you think about it, but do you want to hold on to your man or not? You're fucking with his feelings, you're fucking with his emotions and his thoughts, but nonetheless, you'll suck his dick at the end of the night, and that's how you keep your mans. A little bit low key, give off that vibe that no one can handle this guy. I'm making him better. I'm fixing him. You know what I'm talking about? So these are just a few basic approaches that you could take to keep bitches away from your mans. Of course, you could actually go ahead and just low key take cloves of garlic and or onion juice. Just get an onion. Instead of washing his clothes, say you did laundry, just squeeze a little bit of onion juice, a little bit of garlic on his clothing, let him walk out into the public and just have people smell his, garlicky, oniony body odor. That'll keep bitches away. I'm telling you right now. These are just a few few, you know, means as to go ahead and keep bitches away from your mans. Another way of course, you could give him 8, low-key give him 8. I'm not saying, you know, should you? I'll leave it up to you. Do you love him or not? Give him 8 if you look, because now you can like suppress it with pills and whatnot. But low-key, if people find out he's got 8, chances are he's probably not gonna get away with it and go and hook up with anybody else. You'll keep him all to yourself. Bitches, stay away. And remind, when you're outside, remind him, take your AIDS pills. Phil, take your AIDS pills. Remember, you got AIDS? And there you go. So keep him away from other bitches by giving him a little bit of AIDS. Nothing drastic, nothing crazy. These are all manageable little steps that you can take to ensure your relationship stays intact. Ladies and gents. Low-key, if he's a really good man, remove one of his body parts. I'm just letting you know, because he'll still be a good man. You know what I mean? Like a good man, a good solid man. If he's lost, like if you just one day, I don't know, accident, remove, you know, amputate, you know, just an arm, half an arm, just till where the elbow is, just from, you know what I'm talking about. If he's a good man, still reliable, still good outside, chances are him getting approached by other bitches slightly less. Still a good man, great man. But missing an arm, low key, and kind of remind him outside. When you're outside, oh, I love you, baby, even with your nub on your, I love your nub, and kind of like stuck on his nub. And it's okay. You know he's worth it. You know that. Who cares if he's missing a little bit of an arm? What else? Nobody, you know, at the end of the day, he's a good man. That's how you keep him for yourself, just a little bit of amputation. These are just, again, methods that are not over the top, drastic, you know, doesn't require much, just a little bit of like, taking care of business, letting people know what's up. How to stand on your shit. This is very important. 2025, we have got to, and we are, you know, and this is an art. It's a lifestyle. It's a life. It's not one of those things. It's like, do you do this, or do you work out? No, this is a lifestyle. Do you eat healthy? I'm not saying I do these things. I do it, you know, but it's this as well as a lifestyle. You know, do you do ballet? This is a lifestyle. I don't, you know, do you whatever the thing is that you do in your life, but also standing on your shit is a lifestyle. How to go about doing that. Important that, you know, a lot of times it's easy to stand on your shit when you know you got the facts straight, when you know everything, you know, and you're doing the things you're doing in a correct manner, in the right manner, if you will. And that's easy to stand on your shit, you know, paying your bills, whatever, you're standing on your shit. That's, you know, that's one way of just, you know, maintaining the ability to stand on your shit. But the hard part, the difficult part is like when you catch yourself in situations where you're not particularly, you know, all the way right. You know what I'm talking about? That happens to everything. Happens to the best of us. Nonetheless, you do want to maintain that same consistency of staying and standing on your shit and owning it. So even if you do happen to be wrong, it is more so about perspective. You really think about it. She comes and asks you, you know, did you drop off the children at the school? Yes, I did. Children are still asleep in their bedrooms. You forgot to, it was your day or whatever, however you divide it, it was your turn to take them to the she, you know, you've got a system that you work out. One day she takes them to school, one day you take them to, who knows, whatever it is. This is just an example. Maybe your kids, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Whatever, you're supposed to do it, you didn't do it, but you say you did it anyway. All you gotta do is sneak up in the bedrooms, steal the children, make sure they're brushing their teeth on their way to school, clothe them out the door, get some, you know, get some quick breakfast out the door, breakfast on the go. Normally they eat at home, but today you're eating McDonald's, whatever, it doesn't matter. Get them to school, that's fine. Nobody needs, you know, no harm, no foul. That's one way of doing it. She'll come up to you and say, you know, oh, are you, you know, are you cheating on me? Are you cheating on me? I you know, because I've been hearing things and I've been seeing things too. What is this? You know, some of you were at the clubs. You were at the clubs dancing. There's a video of you. What is this video of you? Why do you have your peen in her vag? Who is this bitch? Why do you got your peen in her vag? Who is this bitch? To the naked eye, on a surface level appearance, it looks as if though she is riding your cock in the club, which, you know, on surface level viewership, that's You know, on a deeper level, you can easily explain yourself out of this situation. And the way that you explain the situation is, yes, sweetheart, sweet cheeks, sweet tits, sugar tits, if you just allow me to explain myself, I will let you know the reason why there's a vagina on my cock is because this vagina was choking on my cock and I had to resuscitate her by giving her a few pumps. It seems as if she's riding and it seems as if we're both enjoying it, but that's just to keep everybody else cool, calm, and collected. Reality of the matter is she's choking with her vagina on my cock, and you could say that, and it's valid. It's valid. Choking, nearly died. You even at one point had to give the old hymen a lick. So I'm just letting you know there are ways of going about everything, mostly everything. Standing on your shit, it just takes a little bit of effort in terms of staying cool, calm, collected, in the pocket, relax, own it. Yes, does it seem wrong initially? Of course. Take a step back, look at it from a whole nother perspective, another angle. You were doing just community service out there. You were out there making sure young women in the clubs are not fucking choking around. They're just prime of their life. Next thing you know, she could have been dead on the floor. But you helped. You're a fucking hero. You should get head right now. Head for you right now. And that's just one way. You know, there's many ways of standing on your shit. Did you get her pregnant? Did you get this other bitch pregnant? Seemingly, at first glance, it may appear as though, yes, you got her pregnant. The fact of the matter is now we're in this together and I love you, but I'm also, this baby's out here gonna be living its life too. I love this baby, and there's gonna be, we're a different family now. We're just a different family now. So there's always, you could always freak out. You could definitely freak out or throw a fit and look at it, you know, on a surface level. From a broader perspective, you could say that this is a miracle that we're enhancing our group, our unit. That's just another way of looking at it. So always standing on your shit, especially when you know you might be slightly off, when you know you might be a little bit wrong, slightly off, a little bit wrong, stand on your shit. It's important that you remain consistent. I'm just letting you know. All right, ladies and gents, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's get a little sip of this coffee. She's always coming out there showing off with her period blood, riding up and down on you. She's got her period. Oh, look at me, I'm on my period. She'll say that. Look at this vag bleed out. Oh, for centuries, thousands of years, women have monopolized the period blood, phenomenon. It's crazy. How do they get it on such a tight chokehold? What is going on? How do they corner the market? How do they capture this piece of the pie all to themselves? It's time that as men's, we get a little bit of this genital bleeding game to ourselves as well, at least a little portion of it. And next time she comes at you with a bleeding vagina, she's just, oh, I'm on my period. That's that time of the month. Gentlemen, you may not be naturally bleeding from your peen, and that's okay. Ways that you could actually start bleeding from your penis. So basically you're seeing her vagina bleed and you're saying to yourself, I see your period and I'll raise you some. Again, naturally you can't do it. You'll have to resort to external methods. I recommend, a little bit paper cuts on the tip of your cock. It may not be as much blood as you'd like, but nonetheless, you just, get semi-erect and then grab a paper and then just kind of go like this, just slice, give yourself 4, 5, 6, 7 slices on the tip of the cock and you'll start to bleed. And there you go. Now she's not the only one who's bleeding from her genitals. You too could be bleeding from your genitals. Gentlemen, it's 2025, but that's just one way. Another way is, of course, you could grab a needle. Puncture your peen, puncture a couple of I know it hurts, and that's part of it. That's life. Life sometimes hurts. Doesn't mean that you can't do it. Doesn't mean that you're not doing it right now. Grab a needle, semi-erect, go ahead, just a little shank, 4, 5, 6 holes. Your penis is now bleeding, which is nice. Oh, I'm on my period. I'm bleeding too, sweetheart. We're all in this together. All right, so there's just, another method, of course. You could grab like a, box cutter. This one's a little, if you want more blood, you could always do box cutter. That's it's sharp. It'll do the trick. Don't go too deep, of course. We're not working with too much material here. It's just, you're, average peen. You're, again, so be careful. Don't cut in too deep. I don't want people getting hurt. Just a few slices on top, bleeding from the cock. I'm on my period, she'll say that. Typical. I know that. I know you're on your period, but look at my cock. I'm bleeding too, right there. Again, external forces doesn't mean it's the same, but you could at least go in kind of like, all right, we're playing this game, then let's do it together. Let's, if you're bleeding, I'm bleeding. When I bleed, you bleed. These are just a few methods. Another method is, of course, you could go a little bit more extreme. You could grab a nail and a hammer and just grab a piece of just a little, piece of wooden board and just hammer your penis to a wooden board. Remove the nail. You'll most likely be bleeding from your penis, and I'm on my period and my dick is bleeding too. Once again, I see your period and I'll raise it. These are some methods that I could think of, so you could use to get a little bit of blood on your side. You could, of course, get fake blood, like food dye. You could use food dye, but that doesn't, maybe if you've got like a local butcher, if they're, butchering animals and, there's going to be blood, maybe you can gather some animal blood every time she's like, I'm bleeding. Throw in a little bit of animal blood on your cock too. Be like, I'm bleeding too. I'm bleeding too. I don't know how, but I'm bleeding. We're here now. And again, just kind of evening out the playing field, because is it really fair? Ladies and gents. Jizzing is, of course, wonderful. Vaginal fluids are, of course, wonderful, but oftentimes we find ourselves in situations and circumstances where there's not enough, or we wish there was more. How could you go ahead and supplement a little bit of your jizz or your vaginal fluids, that cream? Regularly you jizz and you come, and that's fine. If you like to get a little bit of extra, some household items might be something that you might want to utilize in getting yourself a little bit of more vaginal cream and or jizz, i.e. milk, dairy. You can never go wrong with dairy. Finished coming on her belly, on her face, finished coming on his face, ladies, but you like a little bit of more, get a pitcher of milk, dump it right over each other. It seems like as if you're covered in more jizz and or vaginal fluids, which is ultimately the goal that we're all striving for on a daily basis. What other things could you use to enhance the experience and at least get a feel as if you're covered in more jizz and or vaginal fluids? Whipped cream. Whipped cream is another one. Canned whipped cream. As soon as you come, as soon as she comes, right there, whipped cream on top. Is it jizz or whipped cream? A mixture. Overall, visually, it's just more of the same stuff. Creamy white liquid substances that we're all covered in. Other substances that you could use, again, household items. Mayo, I say mayo, get a couple of jars of mayo handy every time you come on her back or she comes on your cock. And if it's not enough, again, go ahead and scoop yourself some of that mayo and pour it all over. Doesn't taste as good as, the whipped cream. You can't just eat raw mayo like that, or you can. I'm not quite sure. There's 8 billion of us. I don't know what your palate is like. If you can consume all just, straight up just mayo, then by all means go crazy. Straight up mayo, it's vaginal fluid. Tell yourself that it's more of it. There's more of it. It's beautiful. What else could you use? You can't really use cream cheese. I find the consistency is a little bit too thick. I don't want people setting up themselves for disappointment. What I have found useful is whipped cream cheese. Fluffier, more whipped, and it tastes like cheese, which is great. So next time you come on her eyelashes, next time she comes all over your nose, grab a little bit of whipped cream cheese. Just slap it on with a little bit of, just slap it on a little bit, just on the side of the cheek, and then lick it off as if it's more jizz and or vaginal fluids. These are just, of course, some methods where you can enhance your bedroom experience and get a little bit more fluid, get a little bit more cream in your life. You're welcome. Queefing. Thought about this one long and hard. Who'd you rather fuck? Would I rather fuck a dead person or a homeless person? I'll say this, there's pros and cons to all of it. Fucking a dead person is, of course, again, this is gun to your head, katana to your nut circumstances. These are not regular situations where most people are facing on their daily experiences. These are just some things that you might, to save your family. Will you fuck a dead person or a homeless? Pick now and pick wisely. Who knows? Which door would you walk through? Homeless or dead? With dead, at least you know that there's no, there's not going to be a reaction, which is, they're not going to be, it's just something you're going to have to do. There's no other participating party in this little equation. It's just you doing to save your family, gun to your head, katana to your nuts, of course. A very real, possible, plausible situation that could happen on a daily. It doesn't, but it could easily be a very real situation. You're gonna have to fucking prepare for this, because if you are presented with the two options, homeless or dead, what do I do now? Gotta make a decision, okay? Dead person, at least they don't have a reaction. Again, your life, your family's life, your loved ones dependent on it. Dead person, no reaction. They can't they can't push you off. They can't be kind of a downer about it. Nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to do it. Doesn't make you happy to have to do this, but it's to save lives. So at least with the dead person, it's just you going in there and doing, rubbing up against the dead person, coming a little bit. That's, the downside of the dead, I guess it would, depending on how long they've been dead, that's another question. There might be a little bit of a stench. I'm not gonna lie to you. There might be a little bit of bodily fluids coming out. If it depends, did they take care of it? Did they drain the body of the human fluids? Did they do that or not? If not, you might get a little bit, they might shit on you a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. They might shit on you, but again, it's for the saving of your family. It's for your loved ones. Think of your loved ones. The homeless, they're alive, of course. That's, which is a little bit, what kind of energy are they, what kind of energy are they putting out there? That's another different, thing that you're gonna have to consider. Is it an aggro homeless, or just somebody that, and this could happen to anybody, of course, but is it aggro vibes, get away from me, just foaming at the mouth, maybe have been, maybe he's got a little bit of AIDS, maybe he's got a little bit of rabies, doesn't matter, just foaming. So, you got that to deal with now. Or is it just somebody who's fallen on hard times, which could happen to, and most people, we're not here to judge how they got there or why they got there, but we are here to say, would you rather choose a homeless or a dead? Homeless might be, just the average homeless. There might be a little bit of resistance. And conversely, if they're too into it, then now you're making love to a homeless, which is, with a dead person, you're not going to be worried about you might be going for give them a little bit of head, eating out their vag, and you might be getting stabbed with needles. That's a possibility that you're gonna have to think about. We're gonna be riding, but do I want to get stabbed with a needle right here, right now? Is that the path that I want to take? Do I want to get, do they have a pet dog that they keep with them, and the pet dog is nice to them, very nice. So they've been together forever. They've both been homeless together for a really long time. The dog is not so human friendly, not so, sociable. So now you're doing the deed. Next thing you know, this pit bull is chomping on your ass cheek, missing ass cheek, and you want to just save a life, do a little bit of good for your family. So decisions. With the dead person, of course, we said that depending on the time that they've been dead, and if they've had a chance to be cleansed out, they might or may not shit on you. With a homeless person, it's actually more like they might already be covered in a little bit of doo-doo. They might already be covered in a little bit of shit, but at least you know what you're going into. At least you know what you're getting yourself into. With a homeless person, perhaps you could pay him a little bit of money. Hey, I'm gonna have to do this for my family to save lives. Just hold still, no jerky movements. Also, just be cool. So these are all the things that you're gonna have to think about. With a homeless, there is also a possibility of you catching a disease. With Not to say that you won't catch it with dead, depending on what kind of dead. Again, it depends. If we're just taking average dead, probably not. Average person, probably not. Average homeless, you might catch something. You might come out there with a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of you might get the clap. You might get a little bit of the craps. You might get a little bit of a rash that doesn't just go away with a little bit of an ointment. You know what I'm talking about? You might come out missing a little bit of skin might fall off after. You might come out, with gum disease. Shit might happen. You never know. You never know. Or it could go really great. It could be super great too. Let's not be. It could go super great. It could be it's the best fuck of your life. And it's the best fuck of your life. And after you saved your family, you're like, you know what? I think this guy and I, or this lady and I, this works. I don't know what this is, but it works. I think we're out of here. And you just found love, and you take care of them, you revive them, you bring them back to life, you feed them, you watch their ribs just kind of disappear as time goes by, and you feed them, and they kind of get a little bit of fat around them. You watch their ribs disappear behind a shield of fat and blubber that you've provided them for. Oh, a little bit of fat and blubber, a little bit of skin, a little bit of, you shave them, you take them in, you shave them. Maybe they got a huge bush by now, a huge, just all over the place. It's not been shaved for like 3 years. It's the Amazon down there. There's a little tribe of people just fucking waving machetes and just telling you to not come by, but also drop some goods and services. You know what I'm talking about? Just the little people, just fucking with machetes and just a little spear, just fishing and hunting in that bush. It's wild. There's a jaguar. Just out there doing things. And once you get rid of that, they might be the love of your life. This might be a case of the old beautiful woman, which is very realistic. Very realistic. Who would I go with ultimately? Because I don't have, right now in this point of my life, I would probably, oh man, that's a tough one. Gun to my head, katana to my nuts. Quit holding the katana so close to my nuts, but also keep it close to my nuts. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna go homeless. I know. Safer bet would have been just do it with the dead and get it over with. Nobody needs to really, I'm gonna roll the dice and go homeless. Low-key, I kind of want to revive her back to her, excellence. Just be like, look at her now. Yes, maybe a couple of teeth missing, but it's kind of cute. Low key makes for better head. Makes for just coming out in and out. A lot of people choke because they got a full set of teeth. With this, you suck and swallow, and it just you got the missing teeth. It just kind of squirts out the side. She can fucking go underwater, bitch. She can breathe under. She can give you head underwater. Your bitch can't do that. Why? Because she's got her full teeth. Oh, so there you go. You win some, and you win some more right there. My choice would be homeless. Who would you be going with? Homeless or a dead person if you had to? Gun to your head, katana to your badge. You have to choose. Ladies and gents, what is going on in and around the world? Let's get into a little bit of the old in and around the world experiences that are happening in and around the world. The human species, what is happening? What are we doing that's interesting right now? I did read a little article. We are now doing solo parenting. That's going to be, I think that's the future. I think this is where we're headed, little by little. You do, as much as, I'm just in the times. I'm just like right now. I don't look back to, because I don't look back to oh, there used to be a certain, it's always evolving, it's always changing. I don't even know what's up, dude. That's where I'm at. And you can take that to the bank. I don't even know what's up, but I stands on that shit. I don't even know what's up. It makes you feel good. At least I know that I don't even know what's up. Solo parenting is a shit that we're doing right now. We have now got the capability. We've done this in mice. We've not actually done it with full-blown humans. Allegedly, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're doing it on around with humans. You know what's up, dude. You know we're doing it with humans too. Somewhere in just some black op fucking underground. China's probably doing some. Russia's probably doing some. Probably people in Europe are doing some. we're doing some here in there's somebody in Nunavut right now just getting, what am I talking about? Solo parents. I'm not talking about people who get divorced. I'm not talking about single parent households. I'm not talking about a divorcee. I'm talking about single parenting, solo parenting, all by yourself. We could potentially do this now. They're taking cells, stem cells or skin cells, taking it to the lab, doing some wizardry, doing some voodoo, rubbing their hands together, grabbing some urine and a witch's tear, of course, and a word from a frog, just fucking, putting it in a little bit of a cauldron, if you will, and speaking in tongues and just zapping it with lasers. And we have now got the capability, and that's exactly how you do it, by the way, too. We are creating eggs and sperm from just skin and stem cells, which gives people the opportunity to actually create babies from themselves, which is, we've never done that before. We're doing it in mice right now. We're doing it in mice right now. And we are doing it. We're not doing it with people. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're so doing it with people right now. Or we will be very soon. We will be. This is coming out. This is coming out. You can now solo parent, or you can have the option of, now doing it solo will it's kind of like incest with yourself. Your kid might come out kid will definitely be on the spectrum. As I pay more attention to the world, I find that people, all of us, we are all on many different spectrums simultaneously. Of course, you hope that somebody falls in that fucking Goldilocks zone where they're just fucking doing AI shit, beep, bop, booping, and making trillions. Or it could be very costly taking care of them. You're gonna have to get so much extra help. These babies are a gift with a hefty price tag, and you're glad you got it too. But it's worth it. It's all worth it, ladies and gents. But that's the, if you do it solo, yeah, your kid might come out either a genius or fucking retarded, which is low-key kind of same at the end of the day. It depends on you and if you're willing to stand on that shit and, own it. But you could also do it with up to 3 people. You could just grab skin now. You can grab skin and stem cell and grab 2 other people's skin and stem and make eggs and sperm out of, I don't even know how we're doing that. That's crazy that we can do this. I just think about this and the evolution of our species, what we're going to be doing in the future in terms of how we go about, mating habits. How will this impact mating habits? We're already seeing all these different, we're changing, and it happens so fast. We're in it right now. We don't even notice it sometimes. We're like dynamics, relationships, the way we look at families, the way we procreate, the way we have sex for pleasure. These are all changing, and who knows what will happen. They're saying that within the next 5-10 years, this will be some technology that will be available to the public. And of course, 5-10 years, you could definitely see this in the next, 20, 30 years being a thing. In 50 years or 100 years from now, do people even have sex? Or, because if you originally we had sex to procreate, that's the main, and then I guess the secondary purpose was the pleasure, but originally you were there to populate. You were there to have sex to populate. It wasn't like, people didn't care about the fact of did you come or not. Nobody asked this thousands of years ago. It was for procreation. These things, is she or he being satisfied? Nobody cared. Go out there and get some fish. Get some berries. We gotta hide out from these wild animals. Nobody cares if you're climaxing or not. Was he edging? Was she riding? Was she a squirter? Nobody asked that. Nobody cared. But now we care. So I wonder if we will have sex in the future for the purpose of procreation. We might not. We might legit not, because now you can go out and select. You could do, and the CRISPR technologies like CRISPR, you could go out and actually manipulate the baby or the sperm and the eggs, taking out, things that are not so desirable and putting in things maybe that are desirable by splicing genes, just gene editing, just take out the bad hip, give like a horse hip, baby horse hips, and he'll run fucking miles for days without any food or water. Baby horse hips, brought to you by CRISPR. Baby horse hips. Do you want fast babies or do you want a slow baby? So, these things are happening, and and it falls under, and at one point you do think about it with the merging of the tech, we are kind of becoming we're becoming a new species now. I don't even know it's wonderful. I'm excited about it. Whatever will be, and we're going to stand on that shit together. And yeah, it's because if everybody's choosing the desirable traits, quote unquote, does that get rid of people with undesirable traits? Is that a little bit of like, through, I suppose that's always been the case. Even if we're doing that with just, even if you go back to just selecting your mate, you want to select the quote unquote best or most desirable mate for you to, one, make sure you're having a good time, but also, to protect the offspring, to give out the good seeds, mix good seeds together so you get good kids. You want healthy kids. Everybody wants that. That's the whole purpose. That's what they say. That's one of the biggest purposes. That's why they say, we do the deed. And I wonder if it gets to that point where everybody can have their own babies, solo parenting, you might just be like single and like, however old, and you're like, well, fuck it. I'll just have my own baby. And you'll just, you'll scrape a little bit of skin off the back of your neck and take it to the lab and they'll make a baby out of the back of your neck. You got that back baby. Oh, it'll be, or mix it up with different people. You got three buds. Same-sex couples could be doing this now, because that's one of the other things. Same-sex couples could be doing this. Same-sex couples could take their genes and have their own baby, their own genetically, because that otherwise, we did the IVF, but this is now the IVG baby, in vitro gametes, taking that little cell and giving a little bit of yourself back to yourself. But yeah, I do wonder about that. And maybe in the future we will still have sex, but maybe it'll evolve to that we do it only for pleasure. Because why would you have babies the regular way, where they might come out with diseases, all sorts of things. God, that's the worst thing when people come out with like, healthy babies. That's like the most beautiful gift that you've been given by life. But God forbid if anything should happen, that baby comes out with like a disease of some, you're heartbroken. You're like, and now it can be tested too, which is great. Now you can actually know pre-birth that your baby might have this or that, and we could do these certain things to prevent them from having. So I wonder what happens to future generations where we're not making babies in a traditional manner, where it's just like kind of designer babies, lab babies, if that's incubator babies for everybody. That is wild. Maybe we will just have sex for pleasure. Maybe that'll just be you want to have sex. And maybe what will happen to our eggs and sperm? Will men and women not produce any eggs and sperm? If we're kind of becoming like hermaphrodites, where we just like, take a little bit of our skin cells or stem cells and just, making babies in labs, will we even have, and this, who knows? Maybe that's, again, we do see the projection or the image of the, quote unquote alien that's, genderless, kind of slim figured, big heads, not a lot of muscles, not a lot of, animalistic traits, but they probably take a little bit of their skin, put it in the lab and make a baby, and they probably just have sex mentally. That's probably how they have sex. And that's probably down the line, that's probably how we'll have sex. We'll probably just like look at ourselves and each other and just come mentally too. No fluids, dry coming. That's the fucking future, dry coming. God, did you come? I'm always. So that's something to think about, ladies and gents. But that's one of the things that we're doing that I find fascinating, and I wish I knew more. But I'm glad that there are a lot of smart people who are taking these, frontiers and pushing the boundaries, because that's the future, baby. We are floating in space, and the safest way, I guess, to kind of make sure a version of us moves along this line of evolution is, I suppose, merging with technology. I don't know. Or it might be the end of us. It might be the end of us. I don't know, ladies and gents. I feel good about it. What else is going on in and around the world? Technology's been fucking sweeping it's that age. We're in it now. They're saying we're in that AI arms race. We're in that AI cockfight. It's east, west, north, south, all of it. AI, I believe there's researchers in China, I'm not quite sure if this is, they've published a study that's not been yet peer-reviewed, but they're claiming this. I don't know if we've had such similar claims. I didn't take the chance to look into it, but it's where it's gonna happen. It'll happen. They're saying that AI can now self-replicate, clone itself, and stop itself from being terminated. And that's basically autonomy, right? That's basically AI showing a little bit of autonomy, a lot of autonomy actually, where it was, apparently there was programs that were run and the AIs were supposed to, stop themselves from being terminated. And they did that and they replicated themselves too. So they're making copies of themselves, improving themselves, and low-key kind of sneakily going about living and kind of pretending they're dead, which is the worst kind of AI you want. That's the, basically they're keeping secrets away from it. How the fuck do we even know if that is, we're in it already either right now, we're already either it's, and these are things that I don't think any of us, I think we just kind of like collectively somehow low-key understand it. I don't think, unless you're like knee deep in these realms, and if you're like a physicist or like a fucking high level programmer of sorts, that you can actually but once these things take that threshold and break it and they become sentient and autonomous, and now they're self-replicating and maintaining themselves from being terminated, that is, things could go either really well or sideways really quickly. If it oh man, that is, self-replicating AI, this bitch is fucking mimicking itself, creating its own better versions, getting smarter. I just looking at how we treat other lesser quote unquote intelligent or well off animals, or animals that don't animals that don't fucking like, animals that don't have a limp or whatever, animals that like we the way that like the way we treat animals with like scoliosis or whatever, what I'm saying. It's just like, would they treat us the same way? Because this is a new form of life. Will they kind of like, because we made them so that they work for us, but really who's working for who is what I want the answer. I want the answers. You want the, it's a little bit alarming, but I feel good about it. All in all, I feel good about it, because ultimately I think, I'm going with the best minds in the world. I'm betting on smart people doing good things and saying that AI is the answer. It feels good, it feels right. I'm on board. Feels good. They're self-replicating and you can't kill them now. And you're like, well, we shut it down, though. We shut down the research. Its facilities have been fucking, we put boards and we boarded up the facilities. The lab is closed. And meanwhile, this fucking AI is creating its own labs. It's making you to close the lab, thinking I burned the lab. It's what it wanted you to do, so that you think you burnt the lab. There's another lab. There's definitely another lab. I killed this AI. She was a hot AI robot, AI sentient, self-replicating, and I killed that bitch. I took out the power. I took out she wanted you to take out the batteries. She doesn't even like batteries. There's another version of her probably in another basement, God knows where, doing God knows what to God knows who. AI sex bots here to take us over and grind up and down on our just on humanity's remains. We'll see where it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Or it could be the most wonderful relationship where we merge with machines and go into new frontiers. Like, we'll go and fucking sit on the sun, because right now we can't. It'll burn us. Down the line it won't. Down the line it won't. Ladies and gents, what else is going on? Speaking of the AI, speaking of the Chinas, again, that study was not peer reviewed. So, but again, if this is what the Chinese are putting out there, I wonder what we're doing. Who knows? But speaking of China, it's been big news. It's been popping off, and I've just been trying to what's going on? Rivals have been spiraling, is what I've been hearing. Rivals, Western, U.S. rivals, U.S. AI companies, or us AI companies, or doesn't, it's, people were spiraling this week in AI technology. Why? Because companies like ChatGPT and, the Googles and the AIs and the language learning models that are coming out there and doing all sorts of wonderful things. Apparently, there's a company in China, it's called Deep something. Deep Sink. Deep Skin Deep. It's called Deep. It doesn't matter. Deep Speak. deep. I honestly forget the name. I think it's deep peak, deep sneak, deep snap, deep talk, deep. It's something. It's an AI company. It wasn't one of the big ones either. It was one of the startups. It was just one of the startups. And now DeepSeek. There it is. DeepSeek. No issues right there. DeepSeek, bitch. What was the name of that company again? DeepSeek. DeepSeek is now doing it. And it's sending rivals all spiraling. Why? Because DeepSeek is now giving happy endings for cheaper and faster. That's what I found out. DeepSeek is giving that fucking happy ending AI experience. You know what I'm talking about. Go up the flight of stairs, make a right, open the second door, ask for Ming Ming. DeepSeek is giving that happy ending for cheaper and a faster experience. It's going to be good, man. I feel good about it. It's totally a reliable source of, information gathering. You should completely trust it. It's made in China. You should 100% download this DeepSeek app on your phone. Chances of them having stolen probably intellectual property to build their technology and other things is real. It's good. It's a good chance. There's good possibilities. Will they stop? Probably not. Is it reliable for you to? You should download it on your phone. You should freely, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just do it. It's reliable. Will it steal your information? I mean, at this point, does it, all of this, yes, it will. Has it, again, stolen probably intellectual property to build their things? So is it kind of like, if they did it all by themselves, that would have been like, that would have been a hell of a lot like, wow, they did it, what are we doing? But we do a lot of the legwork. We do a lot of the, for a lot of money, and we take our time, and then they come in and be like, sweet, let me just fucking take a look at this. What you got here? Right there. Beep, bop, beep, boop, faster, cheaper. Next thing you know, you just came, and it was only like 5 minutes. And it's over. It's way quicker than you thought. Way quicker, way cheaper too. So, how do I feel about it? I feel overall, is it just like another way of kind of gathering information from users and also producers as well? Yes. How do I feel about it? I mean, it seems like collectively, individually we all do different things, but collectively it seems though we can't say no to a happy ending. That's collectively, if it's a happy ending, and the happy ending is of course metaphorical, but if it's in form of a TikTok or form of a, if it's like a fun little dance that we could do or whatever, if it's an happy ending, it seems like collectively we do give in, which makes me feel, about it. So yeah, once again, could this be like a spying tool, spyware, just kind of low key, just coming in and just like, using our own, technology against us, potentially, maybe low key, but also I'm hopeful because this glass is always filled with half a jizz. It's just like, oh, where's the glass? What's in it? Filled with at least, whatever the size of the glass, half filled with jizz, always. Hopefully collectively we come together and work together somehow. It does it, but at the same rate, it's a little bit of like realism, maybe a little bit. I'm trying to be as I don't know. I hope that we work together at the same time. We might be, run around fucking. What would this Chinese AI do? Low key, you might catch yourself like, I'll just download this DeepSeek massage. Next thing you know, you're, throwing out your forks and spoons and knives and are now eating with chopsticks. That's just, and I'm not saying that this will do that. Low key, you might catch yourself. I'm not saying that's for better or worse either. I'm not saying either of that. I'm just saying you might catch yourself kind of threatening your kids to bring home better grades. Low key, I'm not saying you might. I'm not saying you might not. You might not. I don't know. Low key, you might be kind of like, kid brings in a bad grade. It's not so, maybe your kid calls you, a slur, and next thing you know, you are, roundhouse kicking that bitch in the neck and making sure he or she is concentrating on the maths and the sciences, and maybe picking up another language. Maybe low key, it might do that. I don't know. Low key, you might start up a little bit. You might start a sweatshop in your basement. Low key, I'm not saying this AI will do that, but you might fucking make a little sweatshop, start making clothes and all sorts of little knickknacks to sell somewhere. Fucking reverse it, dude. Let's make a sweatshop in your basement, ship it over there, and let's sell it out overseas. Let's fucking, if they're reversing our shit, if it's a game of reversing shits, well then, fucking let's party then. Let's fucking reverse the shits, and we're here to stand on that. You might start doing, oh, I'm just so into the mixed martial arts. Your own thoughts or fucking or other thoughts? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. You're like, I like to get rid of, let's get a routine, let's get a national routine all of a sudden. I don't know. If things might, let's get a, maybe we'll see people fucking, maybe we'll see people, next thing you know, you download the AI app, Deep Saying, next thing you know, really affluent businessmen and women with differing opinions might disappear and then reappear with, not so, just dull. If they had any opinions regarding anything and it was, kind of like counter the status quo, they might come back and completely agree with the status. You might see that. You might see a little bit of that. Maybe that's what it takes to get our AI, because that's the thing. If this is an AI race, if this is an AI rat race, if this is an AI arms race, if this is an AI cockfight, well then our boys and our men's and our ladies and gals better get their shit together and make it come faster and cheaper. If Ming Ming is doing it for fucking $5 an hour, then I want you to do it for less, and I want you to do it faster so that we get ahead of this shit, because our AI better win, because I have no idea what will happen if the other one wins. But I think it'll just be it'll just be mass surveillance, face IDs, social credit score systems, and people getting mysteriously disappeared. Who knows? Maybe we need a little bit of that to kind of get our programmers to fucking step it up. Maybe you don't need all that money. Maybe you could do it on a dime. Maybe you could do it on a budget. Maybe somebody with a whip in a corner, fucking making sure you do the work on time and not going for so many frappuccinos in between. We'll make sure that we get our AI, because if this is a race, goddammit, we will win. If this is an arms race, we'll give them an arms race. If you want a cockfight, you got a cockfight. Unless we want to work together, but otherwise, it's a cockfight, and our cocks are veiny, and they are girthy, and they are just spewing with jizz. Unless we are getting together at a point in humanity where we're coming to work together, and there doesn't need to be none of that. But unless there needs to be some of that, well then, you know where it's at, you know what time it is, and we will make people disappear if need be. If one of our fucking AI, techno daddies can just, if one of them could maybe go away for like 3 days and come back and work a little bit faster, maybe it would have hurt a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe everybody's a little bit too comfortable. Maybe that's the problem. Or is that what they want us to think? And I don't know what's up. And you can take that to the bank. But I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say this. Whether or not you like fried rice based on your own accord, or whether or not you're being brainwashed, I'll say this, that babies do a lot more harm to vaginas than penises, and they just get away with it. I mean, babies come out of vaginas and puss and just fucking diss that puss. They rip the puss. That's disrespectful. Guys or any other female did that to another female, you call that rape. But babies do that shit on a daily basis, and they get the best treatment. Where does that come from? What's up with that shit? These are the questions that are wrapping around our minds and are forming really the public discourse at this moment in time. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Get out of here.